This is the best of the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We continue our Super Bowl week coverage, not anywhere near Super Bowl week. Mark Ingram going to join us today. Von Miller going to join us. Kenny G, Terry Bradshaw. I want you to hear this Stephen A. Smith sound, Stugotz, and tell me. Stephen A. Smith is after us every day, 1 to 3 on ESPN Radio. This Stephen A. Smith sound here of Media Day, Super Bowl, he's in the middle of everything up there. He is, in fact, wait a minute. I'm just looking at the TV now. Stephen A. Smith is bathing in applause at the Super Bowl while Max Kellerman is back in Bristol.
Yep.
Oh, and Stephen A. is drinking up the applause. He is doing the Hulk Hogan hand to the ear because everyone at the Super Bowl is real happy to see Stephen A. Can we call Max and find out why he's not there, why he's back at the studio in Bristol? Is this part of ESPN cuts? Is this part of budget cuts? Why is Gray Max Kellerman back in Bristol while Stephen A. Smith does First Take by himself out there, awash in applause?
I also want to make the assumption that Max is in Bristol. He could very well be in Los Angeles. It's pretty rare that they're both in Bristol.
Oh, okay. Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, and Stephen A.'s not missing a crowd. Plus, he has a radio show to do, and Max does not have a radio show, so I'm guessing...
Wait a minute. You think Max didn't want to go to do First Take at the Super Bowl?
Yes, that's what I'm guessing.
That's a good question. Let's get Max on at some point. Let's put that call out right now. And just ask Max, hey, Max, did you want to be at the Super Bowl to see if we could stir up a controversy on First Take?
It's got to be difficult also traveling with Stephen A. Smith.
You think?
Like everywhere you go, Stephen A. is the guy that everyone wants to talk to. Like, that can't feel good for Max, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it sort of depends on whether or not you like Stephen A. Smith, because certainly I live it with my father.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to meet me. They all want to ask me about my father.
Right, but you're good with that because you'd prefer your dad talking to everyone than you.
It's I'm also good with it because I love my dad.
Oh, that too. Yes,
so,
that too. Forgot about that.
And it's the greatest blessing of my professional life to be able to put him on television late in life to give him a purpose.
Close second me.
An everyday purpose. Close second you.
I'll take it.
And so Stephen A. Smith is saying this about Media Day. What are your thoughts here?
A day when idiots, described as media members, are credentialed to go before the Super Bowl participants and actually get in the way of real media members serious about doing their jobs. Think about some of the questions that have been asked on Media Day. To players being asked if they'd like to see their coach in a thong, or Eric Decker getting asked why won't he wear a cup down low. Don't you want to protect the little Deckers? No, y'all. I ain't kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Bill Belichick was actually asked if he was ticklish. All joking aside. Now, obviously, a little levity customarily doesn't hurt anything. Laughter's good for the soul. Nobody's denying that. But when it makes a mockery of true journalism, inhibiting true journalists from bringing information on the participants to the forefront in favor of sheer silliness, that's a problem.
Well, it would appear that Stephen A. Smith has a problem with our show.
Pretty much, yep. That's what I was thinking as he was saying that, yeah.
He had the final take cadence there.
Yeah.
That was definitely a final take.
It was a final take.
I mean, if the paid journalist, the real journalist, would ask those questions, then other people wouldn't have to come in and ask those questions for them. Because I want answers to those questions. I at least want people attempting to ask those questions, and maybe, perhaps, you'll get a response. Maybe.
Well, but let me ask.
Who cares?
Hold on. Let me ask the audience this question, right? Because it's America's most popular sport. This is the biggest game. This is the biggest television event every year in our country. And the way that it's covered by Stephen A. Smith is really hugely successful for Stephen A. Smith. He goes in there and he is awash in wrestlers' applause because he has very serious opinions about the journalism that he does. And in that final take, while he briefly allowed you to have levity, he briefly allowed all
very
of
nice
us.
Of him, yeah.
It was very kind.
Yes.
Thank you, Stephen A. It was very kind of him to allow us to have levity. In the middle of that, he's taking sports as seriously as people want sports taken. So when he argues on behalf of the journalism, you can object and say, hey, what about the silliness? If hijinks are allowed, fun's allowed. But he's having a very serious old journalism point that he's making about fun.
Right.
And how do you imagine that's being met by people? Making the serious journalism point of we need to talk to the participants. It's important that we talk to Alshon Jeffrey.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Because I think the landscape has shifted and changed a little bit. I think there are some fans who agree with Stephen A. But I also think there are a large portion of fans who are like, hey, man, it's one day. Who cares? Let's ask some fun questions. Big deal.
But what I'm telling you is that Stephen A. Smith has arrived where he is in this profession, taking sports and journalism seriously. So when he's objecting to the journalists not being allowed to do journalism on Media Day, I would stand back from him and say, Stephen, there ain't a whole lot of journalism being done on Media Day by anybody. Not the serious journalists, not the wacky journalists, not there ain't any journalism. That journalism, there's some people doing their job and writing about these people or televising their terrible quotes. But there ain't a whole lot of journalism being done this week by anybody at the Mall of America.
Certainly not on Media Day. It's like guys at podiums.
Well, but I'd go a step further, though. How much journalism is being done this week? Period. By everybody at the Super Bowl. How much stuff that feels like journalism. It's one of, look, man, I'm ultimately siding with old newspaper gas bag, because I am one. I'm siding with Stephen A. Smith on the idea of I wouldn't want anybody getting in my way as I was trying to do my irrelevant job so that they could do their irrelevant job.
I guess the only issue I have, Stephen A. got to being Stephen A., very successful, doing it his way. And Media Day, you get a bunch of people coming in from all over the world. I've been to Media Day several times, all over the world. And yes, some of them don't belong there. Many of them do. Most of them do. But they're trying to make a name for themselves. And sometimes the way you do that is by asking a wacky, crazy question.
The whole thing is gross.
But he could share it. That's what I'm saying. For one day, for a couple hours, you could share it with the people you don't think belong there.
But given what you know about Stephen A. Smith,
you don't want to share.
The answer is no. No.
Stephen A. just wants a Media Day where just he attends.
I'd be good with that.
So would I. I'd be totally good with that. Guillermo, he's deserving. No one is more deserving.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Would you be okay with Super Bowl Media Day just having the media be Stephen A. Smith? Doing what he does from the Super Bowl.
Right.
No other. All the participants go on the field, and the only ones allowed to ask any questions of them is Stephen A. Smith. His questions, his sensibilities. Like just because one of the great things, this is so rare, Stugotz. On both teams in the Super Bowl, are there combined 2 people more famous than Stephen A. Smith? Is the total 2 people playing on that field in the Super Bowl?
3 Gronk.
I was thinking Brady.
Belichick.
Belichick. Okay, I was
Brady,
thinking. No, I meant players. I was thinking Brady and Gronk.
Okay, yeah, Brady and Gronk in terms of players, I agree with you.
And are you sure about Gronk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are you sure about Gronk? Because I'm sure about Brady. Are you sure about Gronk?
I'd be easily won over if we were to have a debate who's more famous, Stephen A. and Gronk, and you were Team Stephen A.
That's interesting to me. Where he's arrived taking sports and journalism seriously, but I sort of wanted to ask you some questions about the jesters, the allowed. I just find so weird, Stugotz, and have found all my life so weird that we treat these things with something beyond respect and reverence when they're games. And so Stephen A's out here talking about Media Day journalism. And we again are treating, like many of the people covering the Super Bowl are doing it very seriously.
Right.
Too seriously. Mm-hmm. And then the one day that they allow the jesters on the field for an hour.
Right.
The serious people are objecting to it. I feel like that's been our entire life in this industry. That the entire life of this radio show has been spent, all 15 years have been spent bumping up against all of that. Where we're like, well, why do you have to respect this thing? It's kind of stupid. Like the Eagles, if Julio Jones stands in the end zone and runs his route and successfully stands up and isn't clumsy, Philadelphia is not in the Super Bowl. If Jacksonville doesn't totally shrivel up,
the Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl.
The Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl.
If a Saints safety doesn't tackle his own man instead of Diggs, then New Orleans is a different matchup for Philadelphia.
The whole thing we're doing is a celebration of sport, a celebration of America, a celebration of us. But why so serious? It's perpetually confusing to me that I keep coming to the circus and there are the clowns, and why is there a pastor on the stage sermonizing to me about the clowns?
But what I'm saying, Dan, it's weird for me, all right? I'm applying my own sensibilities here. I used to take this stuff, as you know, as serious as anybody. And I've changed. I've evolved over time where it's just not that important. Now, maybe that comes with age or just sitting here next to you doing the show. But that stuff's not it's media day is not important to me. I don't care what any of them have to
this
say.
Whole week is
None of them.
This whole week is stupid. The whole week is intergalactically stupid. We will give you the 34th best quarterback in the world, according to Chris Sims, next.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive's Home Insurance. Get your quote at Progressive.com today. Here's your SportsCenter update. Greg Monroe has agreed to a contract buyout with the Suns, clearing the way for him to become an unrestricted free agent, and the Celtics and the Pelicans have strong interest. Trailblazers guard C.J. McCollum scored 50 points in 3 quarters of play in Portland's 124-108 rout of the Chicago Bulls. Dollar Shave Club has everything you need for your hair, face, skin, and shower. They have you covered from head to toe, and they deliver it to you, just like they do their razors. Give the club a try today, guys. You're going to love it. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Dan. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
It is Dan and Stu from the Clevelander in South Beach on ESPN Radio.
Catch me and Mike Gola Jr. every Sunday for weekend observations from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Chris Sims standing by. He's on time today. He's going to join us here to give us number 34 on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
I am on time today.
Where to go? No pictures? Nothing going on there, Sims?
Well, you know, the paparazzi was following me around a little bit, but I shooed them away. Now I'm hanging out with Mina. I mean, then, you know, Mina's not only cooler than you and Dan, she's a whole lot better looking, too. So it's nice to be sitting next to her.
Well, Mina probably knows more football than any gas bag that's talking
She's
on Radio
cheating.
Row right
I'm looking at his list,
She's
guys.
cheating on my list.
Oh, my God. It's going to blow your mind. I'm seeing like a preview of the future.
Yeah, you better watch.
Wait a minute. Mina, you know who number 34 is? You've got the list in front of you?
I am above 30. I just saw 34 through the 20s.
Yep, she's seeing stuff in there.
Hold on a second.
Some crazy decisions.
Sims.
Hold on.
Yes.
Put that thing away.
No.
I'm talking about the list. Put it
That's
away.
classified info.
All right, just put it away,
All right,
Sims.
hold on a second. Mina Kimes.
Cheater, Mina.
Mina, who is the 34th best quarterback
He closed it.
in the world?
is
Sims, open
it?
up your piece of paper.
Yeah,
Let's
show
Okay.
it to me
Yep,
again.
here we go.
Am I
Let's do it.
announcing it for him?
Yes, hold on.
ahead.
We'll do it again.
This is insane,
hold on.
but the
Hold
answer
on.
is...
Hold on.
Mina, hold on.
Sorry.
Slow down.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, guys.
Hold your horses.
I'm ready.
So this list, Blake Bortles was the 70th ranked quarterback in the universe according to Chris Sims, and now the list has gotten crazy because Eli Manning is 38, and Geno Smith is ahead of him, and Colt McCoy is ahead of him, Brett Hundley is ahead of him, and Chris Sims has argued these things very well. So, number 34, the 34th best quarterback in the world, according to Chris Sims through Mina Kimes, is...
I do not condone this, but it is A.J. McCarron.
What?
Wow.
Who said, was it Sims?
That was me. Yeah, what? She doesn't condone this? What?
Wow.
I saw some of the names above and below.
well,
and
hold
oh
on
my
a second.
God.
Wait,
Hold
so
on.
now I'm wondering, is Dalton going to be on the list?
Hold on. Hold on.
Is he?
This is a good question.
Huh.
It's a good question. But this is what I would like. If you the guys don't mind, I would love for Mina Kimes, because I'm telling you, Mina knows football better than anyone sitting at those tables on Radio Row, like the advanced metrics. I'm talking. I would love for you guys to argue about what's on the list. Mina, if they're what is the most objectionable thing that you've seen on Chris Sims's list?
Give it away.
without skipping ahead.
No,
obviously.
no. You're right. We're not skipping ahead. You want to go back to the old? She's not allowed to see that
We
part.
can look before. Chris, you guys, you have to see this. His hand is like clutching his list and covering it.
Yep, I am.
Attaboy,
I'm not
Sims.
letting no
Good.
free
it's
looks
gold.
right.
It's gold.
Clear
It's your
code.
golden ticket, Sims. You're going to ride it. You're going to ride it right into
Clear.
your father's media career.
I mean, where to begin
You
with
jerks.
this?
You're both jerks.
They're
We love
all
you.
so bad at this point.
Hold
it
on,
is, I
hold
guess,
on. Mina, look at that list, please, and tell me what you're finding most objectionable. 70 through 34 there.
All right.
70 through 34.
Whoa! Bridgewater at 49 below Geno.
I mean, he's got one leg. Yes, he's at 49. He hasn't played football in 2 years, Mina. I can't put him too high up. I got to see some proof first.
We know what his talent is, and it's an injury that you can recover from.
Well, we haven't seen him recover or seen his talent as of late, so I have to judge him that way.
Do you believe in climate change?
I do totally believe in climate change.
Right.
Yes, I am a organic and a lover of the environment. Yes.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know. She asked me that. I don't know. What the hell
I know. I haven't seen the climate change, but I know it's real, and I know Teddy Bridgewater is pretty good.
What? We have tons of evidence with climate change. We have real answers. Like we know we have the science. It's not a theory anymore.
It's really ahead of 34 where it gets bumped.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it is a theory that Teddy Bridgewater should be higher than that.
Yeah, like we have evidence. It's the same stuff we use to say climate change is real.
Well, evidence from 2 years ago.
I'm with Sims on this.
We're with Sims.
We're going to bring people back from 10 years ago. Well, we have evidence he was good, back in 2009. So
Bridgewater came back for like a play and he threw an interception. That's why he's 49.
Yeah, we're with you, Sims. We're with you.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Hold on a second. If we're going to do a version of First Take here on the fly ad lib or around the horn, in terms who gets the point there? Who got the point? Hold on, let me go around the room. Guillermo, who got the point there between Chris Sims and Mina Kimes on the Teddy Bridgewater argument?
Chris Sims.
Roy.
Okay, whoa. If
hold on, we're not arguing each one of these.
Agreeing that Teddy Bridgewater is worse than Geno Smith and all of these guys, Stanton, Moore, EJ Manuel, guys. He has EJ Manuel above Teddy Bridgewater.
Yes.
Just take a moment and let that marinate.
He's played recently.
But it's Bridgewater with one leg.
Yeah.
So I could go out, throw 3 throws, and by virtue of me having more passing volume would be better than Teddy Bridgewater, is what you're saying.
Teddy Bridgewater was not even the backup quarterback in the playoffs, Mina. I can't. They put Sam Bradford as the backup and deactivated Teddy.
And Aaron Rodgers is hurt. We haven't seen him throw in a while.
Well, you're going to see him very high at the top, okay? But we did see him throw.
That's a teaser.
Keep the list to yourself.
I will.
Seriously, you're a leaky faucet.
Well, I mean, that was no shocker. You thought he was going to be
Aaron Rodgers and how high he is.
You knew he was going to be up towards the top.
I didn't know that. This list is so crazy. I don't know where anyone is.
No, this list is like reality, and I'm just trying to explain to the world.
You're going to pivot to make this the Aaron Rodgers list when you make him 21.
That's not going to happen because Aaron Rodgers is the man. He's definitely not going to be at 21.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mina, hold on a second.
Yes.
Hold on. Mina, what else is objectionable on this list? Anything else worth?
I don't want her to see it.
Whenever
this
we're
is
done
classified.
talking about
we sent this to the White House. They're under review. This is classified info.
He keeps shutting the laptop, literally like a kid in class who doesn't want to be cheated on. Like I'm the jock.
I was the cheater. No, I was the cheater for sure.
Why?
I think we can all agree that Chris Sims was the type of person who cheated off of Mina Kimes.
Yes.
In class.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Agreed.
Wait a minute.
Mina's right about that. Point Mina.
All right. Mina. All right. I think that Chris Sims and Mina Kimes should do the escape room. I think we should knock out. You got more time for us later today?
Well, who are you knocking out, Stanzik or Barnwell?
I need Barnwell.
I think the comedy team of Mina and Sims is what we need to send to the escape room. All right, we'll keep negotiating with you. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right, thanks for having us. See you guys.
Say hi to Lefko.
Mark Ingram, he's from Bleacher Report, by the way. Lefko and Sims. Mark Ingram's going to join us next.
Stugatz wants a new boat. Time for some more ads.
I'm a bit of a greeting card snob. I always check the back of the card to see if the person who gave it to me put effort into picking it. It's not a Hallmark. Trash.
I'm with you on that.
How about that?
Totally, I'm with you on that. Yes.
How about that?
Yep.
Does it say Hallmark? Does my friend care and love? Not if it doesn't say Hallmark.
Wait, if you get a card that's not a Hallmark, you just throw it in the trash?
Garbage.
Yeah. I do the same. Does it feel special? It's almost Valentine's Day, and that means you need to go out and buy your lady a card. Do it now, guys. But don't go out and buy her just any card. Pick up a truly special card from Hallmark Signature. Seriously, if you're looking for the best because she's the best, these are the kind of cards that make an impression, as in she'll be impressed and feel loved, which is a win-win for you, my friends. You can find the perfect Hallmark Signature Valentine's Day card today, wherever Hallmark cards are sold.
This is the biggest show in the world.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Mark Ingram going to join us in just a minute here on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. Greg Monroe has agreed to a contract buyout with the Suns, clearing the way for him to become an unrestricted free agent, and the Celtics and the Pelicans have strong interest. Trailblazers guard C.J. McCollum scored 50 points in 3 quarters of play in Portland's 124-108 rout of the Bulls. And finally, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak told Business Insider that he doesn't believe anything Elon Musk says.
Oh, God.
My man!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Woz. It's all talk. I mean, all this guy Musk does is talk. Nothing ever gets done. When's that train going to happen? The train that's supposed to get me from Orlando to the studio in 14 minutes. Been hearing about it for 5 years. And Woz, stop stealing my material. When would you prefer to spot that criminal? Before or after he gets into your home? Blink Motion activated security cams alert you the instant they detect someone casing your home. Get 3 Blink cams with the other guys charged for 1, plus 10% off right now at blinkprotect.com/Dan. That's blinkprotect.com/Dan. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Mark Ingram with us now. He's going to be a studio analyst for the Madden NFL Club Championship Final, airing tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Now. This backfield was the best backfield in the sport this year.
Yep, and my backfield, which included him in my big fantasy league, helped me win a lot of money.
That's not the worst.
I love Ingram.
Oh, that's so lame. That's so lame. Ingram, tell him how lame that is. How lame the guy is who says, oh, you won me so much money in fantasy. Light him up, Ingram.
Hey, man, no, I'm with him. I'm with him. I got your back, baby.
Thank you, Mark. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yes, sir.
Seriously, thank you for having such a big season
for the love of God, shut up.
Hey, every time I was running the ball, I was thinking about your fantasy team, man.
Thank you, man. I know you were. You ran like it, man.
Ingram's got this down.
And it's why I kept you in the lineup, Mark.
Wait a minute. Wait, what a fraud this Ingram is wandering around through fantasy fans. He's got all the lines. I did it for you, baby.
Yeah. Hey, you get it. You get the fantasy stuff every single day, no matter where you go. So you just, you learn to, have fun with it.
Ingram, how many times in your life have you said, I did it for you, baby? And when someone does give me a number to this question. When someone says something about fantasy, give me a number of times you said, did it for you, baby.
483.
Is that your move? Do you have a second move you go to?
My second move is I'll try my best.
All right. Yeah, that's a weaker effort.
I'll give you my best. Man.
You gave me your best this year, man. I appreciate it.
Enough. Do you have a third option? Do you have a third option that you might go to make it fantasy?
You should have been a better fantasy GM.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when they complain.
Nice.
Yeah.
I took you.
Oh, you got to put down.
You're killing me in fantasy, man. Well, you should be a better fantasy GM.
That's right.
I love that.
So I want to talk to you. Are you at the food court right now? Are you at the food court?
Yes, I'm at Media Row right in the food court, man.
All right, so what is the best sample? Like, what is Mark Ingram's, like, he's going to go over there and grab a toothpick or something, and it better be this.
I'm looking at Shake Shack right now, so, man, a little Oreo shake sounds amazing right now. So,
but when you walk around that food court, right? They have toothpicks and each one has a sample. Like, do you go bourbon chicken? Is that the one you go with?
Chicken.
Oh, the orange chicken.
I told you guys orange chicken. I told you guys orange chicken. Man. You wouldn't let me be right, and I told you guys orange chicken is good.
Yep.
And you guys are sitting here with bourbon chicken.
No, I gotta have the orange chicken, man.
The poll told you bourbon, man.
Right.
I mean, we do everything by polls around here, Ingram, and the poll said that everyone goes with bourbon chicken.
Hey, I don't like doing the popular thing. I like, being myself.
You and Dan will get along then.
Yeah. Mark Ingram with us again. Studio analyst for the Madden NFL Club Championship Final, airing tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Now. Now, I do not mean to insult you. You are a magnificent athlete. I know all of your accomplishments, but I do feel like for a running back, you seem like you really like food. Am I where you're like, I'll have Oreos. I got no problem. Like, you're super fit and stuff, but I feel like if I let you go, you might go and eat the way I do.
Listen, man, running backs are fat boys at heart. I'm telling you. Running backs are fat boys at heart, and I love my food. Don't play with my food. I'm going to grub. And the quickest way for me to get angry and cranky is not eating. I got to have my food.
And now, are you a clean eater, or do you just eat whatever you want?
See, I will eat clean when need be. But I will have me some, fried Oreos, fried chicken, fried shrimp basket, all that good stuff, smothered pork chops, all that.
All right, so when Mark Ingram is going crazy.
And he lives in a great city for food,
so
by the
good,
way. Yes.
So good.
Yes.
So when you're going crazy, though, what's Mark Ingram going to hit and where he might even feel some shame afterward because he ate too much?
Oh, man. I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday, and I had a chicken sandwich. I had a 8-count chicken nugget with a large fry and a large Arnold Palmer. I didn't feel too good about myself after that.
Right.
But,
Polynesian sauce or?
Chick-fil-A sauce and barbecue.
Well done, man. Proud of you,
You're
man.
good at this. Yeah. You're good. What is Ingram better at, running a football or eating?
Oh, I could run the ball, but I could also eat. You feel me?
You didn't answer my question.
Better? Running the ball. Better.
Yeah. You ran it well for me this year, man.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, he was great for your fantasy team. Do you have a great Nick Saban story for us?
A great Saban story.
Yeah. You got anything good for us? You seem like you're a good storyteller.
Man, Coach Saban, man, that dude is crazy. That dude is so funny. But
funny?
Yeah, bro. He's serious, but listen, he really thinks he's a jokester. I'm trying to tell you. He thinks he got all the jokes. He thinks he's a comedian. But I'm trying to think of a story for y'all that's appropriate right at the moment.
I don't want the appropriate one.
Right.
I can't
it's the other one.
I can't put my dog out there like that.
It's the other one. It's the one that puts your dog out there. That's the one that I want.
Man, you did a lot for that dog.
Yeah, you did so much for that dog. Let's go.
Hey, listen.
You're not going to give us that one? That's it. We'll move on. If you're not giving us that one.
I can't give it to you.
All right.
I can't give it to you. Next time in person, I'll give you the story, okay?
I don't believe you. I believe you're treating me insincerely like you do all of your fantasy fans.
Don't do me like that.
I mean, honestly, Mark, when are we going to see you in person? I mean, I see you every week because I coach your team. But
I heard y'all down there in Miami. I'm right up the road in Boca, man. I just left yesterday.
All right.
Oh, let's go.
All right.
It's not exactly up the road, I got to be honest.
See, it's not far, though.
No, it's not that far.
No,
Let me ask you this question, if I may.
It's just straight down the turnpike. I'm right there by y'all.
That's right.
All right.
Mark Ingram will be a studio analyst for the Madden NFL Club Championship Final, airing tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Now. How often, and I know you and Kamara are huge friends, how often do you remind him that he had to leave Alabama because he was the fourth-string running back and you won the Heisman Trophy there?
I told him we accept him. He wanted to be great. He wanted to be a champion, so he came to Alabama. And some things, it didn't work out, but he was able to go to Tennessee and have enough success where he's about to win the Rookie of the Year.
Mark, you're being very gentle with him. Yeah. When you're in private and riding him the way that friends ride each other.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I didn't mean it like that. No.
Sounded weird.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, all right, let's just end on that note. See you later, Ingram.
No, I got to plug my Madden, man.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Plug it.
Listen, man, I'm here with the Madden NFL 18 Club Championship. There's 32 players representing 32 teams. They're playing for $500,000 and 2 Super Bowl tickets. And tonight, the final is going down on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Central. I'm the analyst of the game, so make sure y'all tune in and check that out because it's going to be a good time.
Madden NFL Club Championship Final airing tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Now.
Mark, I'll mail you your ring, okay? I have a ring for you. I'll put it in the mail.
God,
okay?
with this. Enough with this.
And I'm about 10
fantasy
minutes.
championship ring, I need that.
Yeah, I got one for you, man. You're my MVP.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
True or false? You have made fun of Kamara more than 10 times in your life because he was the fourth-string running back and left Alabama, and you won the Heisman Trophy.
True.
Okay, thank you.
Now to the good stuff.
Like that guy, man.
No, you're gross.
What do you mean I'm gross?
You're gross.
Guy won me a title.
It is not complicated. It is very simple. It's Valentine's Day. It's time to show your love. It's time to pick up a Hallmark card. It's tradition, people. You know this name. When you think greeting cards, you think Hallmark. Tell them, Stugat.
Yep, no doubt about it. It's almost Valentine's Day, guys, right around the corner. That means you need to go out and buy your lady a card. Do it today. Get it over with. Do it right now. But don't go out and buy her just any card. Don't do that. Pick up a truly special card from Hallmark Signature. Seriously, if you're looking for the best because she's the best, these are the kind of cards that make an impression. As in, she'll be impressed. And feel loved, which is a win-win for you, my friends. You can find the perfect Hallmark Signature Valentine's Day card today. Do it right now, wherever Hallmark cards are sold.
Simply put, no one is better at talking into microphones.
Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get in touch with the show anytime to the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed at Le Batard Show at Stugat790. Get your Valentine's needs knocked out today with up to 60% off best-selling bouquets, arrangements, and gifts from 1-800-Flowers.com. To score up to 60% off, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN.
Mike Ryan, do you have a stat of the day for us? Do you have a decent stat of the day in your arsenal?
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
This stat comes courtesy of fantasy guru Joe Dolan. He tweeted out, Wes Welker played 6 years with Tom Brady's New England Patriots and 2 years with Peyton Manning's Broncos and has 0 Super Bowl rings to show for it.
It's like a riddle.
Crazy.
That's almost impossible to believe.
It is.
Hold on a second. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you think it's possible that Wes Welker played 6 years with Tom Brady and 2 years with Peyton Manning's Broncos,
right,
and never won a Super Bowl?
Remember, Welker dropped that pass that Giselle was all upset about in the Super Bowl, if you remember that one. So, I'm with you. That seems like a riddle. Like, it's crazy.
That doesn't make sense, what he just said.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, Mike was combing through some football stuff. Andy Reid appears to know when Andy Reid is announcing this quarterback's got nothing left, you need to pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I found this Alex Smith trade pretty fascinating because you don't see starting quarterbacks move like this. So I looked through Andy Reid's history of trading quarterbacks. He once traded A.J. Feely for a second-round pick. Once traded Kevin Kolb for a second-round pick and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Once traded Donovan McNabb at the tail end of his career for a second-round pick. And now he just traded Alex Smith for a third-round pick and Kendall Fuller. Perhaps he knows what he's doing.
That's the thing that I find interesting about signing Alex Smith. I feel like Andy Reid, we can all agree, was maxing everything out there. Alex Smith had a spectacular season for him last season, throwing the ball downfield. They got him playmakers, and what Andy Reid is saying is, we need to be better than this.
Well, he told you that when they drafted Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, but what I am saying is when you look specifically at what Alex Smith did last year and how different it is from the other things he was doing in his career, throwing the ball downfield, it is because those skill guys are great.
Right.
And what Andy Reid is telling you is, this is maxed out here with these skill guys, but Mahomes, I think, can do more with these skill guys because I just got a better Alex Smith than I've ever gotten because of how good our skill guys are.
More upside, but he better be right on Mahomes, right?
Uh-huh.
Kind of has to be right on that one. That's Mike. That was a great deep dive, but I don't know if any of those. Like the only one that kind of makes sense there is McNabb, but that was McNabb at the end of his career when Daniel Snyder was handing out second round picks for a name.
I know, but Andy Reid has done a lot of winning with not very many quarterbacks.
Correct.
And that's hard to do.
Yes.
I mean, Donovan McNabb was good for a time there, but what happened after Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid was still winning some before it fell apart.
Andy Reid's a good coach.
Andy Reid knows when to sell high, apparently.
Yeah. All right. So Mina Kimes, ESPN The Magazine, is doing our Super Bowl correspondent work from the Mall of America, where I'm told there was a Shake Shack situation of some sort. I don't know if she knows about it. Chris Sims do you know about this Shake Shack situation? What happened?
I think that they're getting a lot of free advertising just because of their proximity to Radio Row, and I believe this is speculative. I heard someone say the NFL is not happy about that.
Okay. So we will get to the bottom of that with Chris Sims at some point in the coming days. But what are you going to do for us in the next couple of hours?
Yeah, so I'm with Bill Barnwell, a couple producers. We're doing an escape room, which I have never done before, which I believe is where you go into a room and you have to solve a series of puzzles to escape. That is the extent of the adventure. I gave a long list of things I don't like to do to Billy, and I think this is what came out of it.
Well, but hold on a second. I heard you don't like zip lining. Can we get you on a zip line?
Yeah, they're doing that. My list was height, being cold, standing, bugs, being touched, being uncomfortable, being stressed. I think those two still are making me do
Okay, well, all right. Well, we'll check in with you later.
Where's Aaron Rodgers, by the way?
Well,
Where is he?
I mean, Barnwell.
I said hi to him.
Okay.
And he says hi to you, Dan.
Not helpful. Not helpful.
You can say hi to me.
We wanted him to do the escape room with you.
That would have been a pretty hard sell, I think.
Yeah, okay, so you didn't even try. I
did not try.
No, clearly.
Correct.
All right, we'll check back in with her. I want to see if she's sad next time we check in that she's doing this for us on Radio Row. We can't get her a camera, and she's like option X.
We have run out of space for all of our awards. Don't forget, you can hear more of my sons Dan and Stu weekdays starting at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPNU.